Good evening. Welcome to call to order the Board of Education regular meeting for Monday, July 14th, 2025. Kristen, would you do a roll call, please?
Sure. Tracy?
Here.
Bridget is absent. Eric?
Here.
Mark?
Here.
Brian?
Here.
Ann?
Here.
And Aaron.
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mark, will you please read the school board mission statement?
Yes. Working together to ensure high levels of learning for all.
Thank you. Kristen, was public notice given?
Public notice was given to the requesting news media. The agenda was posted in school district buildings and on the district website.
Are there any changes to tonight's agenda?
There are no changes to the agenda.
Go ahead.
I would move that we approve the agenda as published.
Second.
Motion by Ann, second by Tracy to approve tonight's agenda as published. We have no requests for any public input on tonight's published agenda, and we'll move into our recognition items. First of which is to welcome someone new at the table. Ben, we've been waiting for this for some time. It's great to have you here at the table with us this first regular meeting. Just very excited for what we'll do together here in Alaska.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'll keep my words short, but it's an honor and a pleasure. And I've shared with people a dream come true for me to have the opportunity to share and continue my professional passions as a school leader and be in the place that I love and want to be and where my family is, right? And you can't get any better than that, where you can match your values all together. And it's been, I think, 14 days, I suppose, that I've officially been on the job. And I just want to thank everyone for welcoming me with open arms. And we've been able to accomplish a lot together in a short amount of time, but it's really about building. And it's about building my knowledge of our team, building our knowledge of the community and our school district, building that team, and then also building lots of relationships. And we've been meeting lots of people, a lot of extraordinary people that support our school district. And I'll end my commentary there because you'll find this in me that I do probably talk a lot. And you'll at some point probably make fun of me about it, but that's okay. You just need to tell me to zip it. But thank you very much.
Okay. Again, welcome. And tonight we also have a recognition. And I'm going to hand it over to Lori to start us with that.
Kick it off. And Dr. Marr, if you'd like to come up to the table.
All right.
For those of you that don't know, this is Todd Marr. Todd has been our district medical advisor for 30 years now, and one pandemic.
Yeah, let's not have another one.
Yes. And he is retiring from his practice, and so we brought him here. We thought it was a good time to bring him here and celebrate all the service you've provided to our community, to our families, to our school, to our nurses, to me over the years. And just thank you. It's been a pleasure working with you.
Well, thank you. It's been great to be, a taxpayer of Alaska and see what you guys do, to have two children go through the school district, both excelling and doing well. It's nice to give back. I've got somebody lined up to take my place. We're still working out all the specifics. I'll be around until he starts. I promise that.
Thank you. And I don't know, Amanda, did you have words to say at all?
Come on up.
Sure. Yeah, I just want to say on behalf of Health Services, thank you. And it's been always great to work with you. Anything we ever needed, you were there and you answered and were quick. And it's just been really, really great having you. So we're going to miss you for sure.
Keep hiring good nurses.
We're trying. Hang on to them.
It's nice. Knowing, working in the state through the Academy of Pediatrics and the American Lung Association, it's nice to actually hold Alaska up as a model. We do a nice job of what we do, thanks to all of you who work hard. I want to thank my wife, Deb, my kids, and Gunderson Health System for allowing me to do this over the years. It's now Amplify by Gunderson, but they've allowed me to do it, and it's been great. And without the nurses, I couldn't do what I did. So it's always been wonderful, and signing off on forms is what I love to do.
It's more
you.
today, I heard.
Good thing.
Yes.
Don't leave yet.
But
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and Todd, I was asked by our board president to just top it off here tonight. Again, thank you, and of course, we've had a long personal relationship, you and your wife and your children, and it's been great to know that you've been behind us, helping us out, and yeah, there was that pandemic.
Created some interesting times.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
So, Todd, we do have a certificate of appreciation for you in recognition of your compassionate care, dedication, expertise, and unwavering commitment to the students and staff of the School of Onalaska. And a note from the team here. So,
And a check from Ben?
Well, just like when you were back in elementary school, you can hang this on your fridge.
Okay.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, no.
Get out of your way.
Thank you so much.
very much.
Okay. And agenda item 11, tonight we'd like to recognize some donations. Ben?
It's my honor and I'd like to share our gratitude for the following donations. A golf bag from C.R. Newberry for the golf program. $1,000 from Ronnie Gatzloff, did I say that right? For the high school art department. $200 from Delore Kenyon for the student lunch accounts. And $250 from Marine Credit Union employees for student lunch accounts. So those are our donations. We have a lot of gratitude and acknowledge and thank all of those that donated to our students and our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. And while these donations don't reach the threshold that requires board approval, we always like to recognize the various ways in which our community recognizes our students and the district. So thank you to all of these donations and for the thoughts that are behind them. We'll move now into item 12, which is an informational item, and we'll have our annual Student Health Services report from Amanda.
Okay, thank you for having me. So we will go through the health services report from this past school year. So the goal of health services is really to provide medical care for students while minimizing academic interruptions throughout the day. So we have one director of nursing, which is myself. We have a district nurse, which is Kelsey. And then we have 5 health paraprofessionals, so one in each of our buildings. And then Dr. Marr, who we just saw, kind of oversees us. The annual report is aligned to the district health services policies, which are listed here, and we'll go through them. So the first one is emergency nursing services, and this is our overarching policy that gives direction to people if nurses aren't available and how to care for students. It lists a lot of other policies in it. An example of that would be field trips when nurses aren't there. We do try to help get those ready and check meds that are going. So this year we checked 187 meds for overnight field trips and then left the rest to the staff who are going. The next policy is health services, and it talks about screenings we do in the district. So we do vision and hearing screenings. We do vision screenings on pre-K 1st, 3rd, and 5th, as well as any new students. And then hearing is on all first graders and any new students. So you can see the number we did and referred for each of those screenings. And the other thing under this policy is our dental clinic, which is Bridging Brighter Smiles. And they provide twice a school year screenings, cleanings, fluoride sealants, and referral assistance. They can emergently and urgently refer students. You can see on there was 4 emergently referred and 101 that were urgently referred, so they are doing great work here. And then there was 32 early, which means they wanted to recheck them the next time they came. The next slide shows the enrollment data, which the number enrolled is increasing every year, which we're happy about. We especially like to see the 4K and kindergartners get enrolled, and then also high schoolers before they graduate. The next policy covers care of students with chronic health conditions. So health alert data is entered into the student chart by the parent at the beginning of the year in registration, and then can be updated throughout the year by parents or by the nurses. We're involved in all Section 504s, so we review health medical records there and can update information. The data typically stays mostly the same. Mental health and ADHD numbers rise every year. And then we also had neural conditions and migraines rise this year. Based on this data, we had 40 individualized health plans for students in the district this year. Policy 5330 is administration of medications. So typically our health pairs are responsible for medication administration at each of the buildings. And this is daily and PRN meds. So this year we had 16,129 meds administered. And then this slide just breaks it down per building, so you can kind of see where those meds are being administered. And typically it's more at the lower or upper levels of the schools. We also like to track med errors just to make sure everything is going well. We focused on late meds a couple years ago, and we've done really well there. So of those 16,129 meds, we had 23 this year. So examples are if they didn't get it as scheduled, if it was missed on a field trip, if it was damaged in some way. So when that happens, the nurse is contacted, the parent is contacted. We do retraining with the person. So we're really focusing on that, and we'll hit it again this year in the fall. This policy focuses on delegation of care and states that nurses are responsible for making the decision when delegation occurs. So this year we had 38 different rescue medications, we call them, which are more like emergent meds and or procedures that we delegated to 247 different staff members. We also delegate EpiPens and bronchodilators at the beginning of the year, and also started with naloxone this year and delegated that to staff as well. 8450 is control of casual contact communicable disease. So we look at our immunization data on the Wisconsin immunization website to update it, and also by forms that parents turn into us. This year we had 117 waivers, which is pretty typical for what we have. And we were at, I have it up there, we were at 98.4% compliance, and we would like to be at 99, so we're very close. And one of the reasons we monitor it is to look for if there was any outbreaks through the year, we would need to know who is immunized and who isn't. So we did not have anything this year that we needed to do that for. And then also we have 5th grade, so we have staff that will do their education on vector training, and then we do 5th grade student education for contagious versus non-contagious illness. So we have a presentation for them that goes through the illnesses, and it's interactive, so they can learn about it that way. 5340 covers student accidents, illness, and concussion. So during this last school year, we had 2,630 injuries, and that was down from last year. We evaluate this on a monthly basis to look at trends or any areas we need to address. And staff are prepared to take care of injuries. They take first aid training, CPR training, and then our health pairs take that as well as get extra training from the nurses. We also track peer injuries just to make sure that nothing out of the ordinary is happening. This is anytime a peer is involved, so it could have been they stepped on them or threw a ball, but it's pretty typical from year to year. It stays the same. Then we just look at locations of where they're occurring, and this also pretty much stays the same every year. Recess is a common one just because kids are out burning energy. PE and classrooms are also pretty common locations as well. Then we like to break down our head injuries that happen so we kind of know where we're at, and we have this level system so we know the severity. So that kind of tells you how we determine level 1, 2, or 3. And then we track those levels. You can see on this slide and on the next one. So we had 585 head injuries this year, but then of that we like to know how severe they are. So then we break down those based on the level. So this year we sent 70 concussion plans to staff. Only 4 of those happened at school. Most of that is from sports in the community. That number might seem high, but we like to have them reported so that we can get them on a return to academics and sports protocol so we can make sure their brain is healing. And then this one breaks down those levels like I was saying. So you can see the vast majority are the level 1. Some of them level 2, and then just one level 3, so that's good. And then the last thing we check is total health office visits for the year, which are listed here. They pretty much stay the same year to year. We track everything that kids come in for except if they're coming for a daily medication. And we do have a self-serve station in the middle school and the high school so that kids can help themselves and we don't need to track those visits. But everything else is on there. And that's the end of the slides. Does anyone have any questions?
I just, I've been sitting here a while, so I've heard this report for many, many years, and I think just want to compliment you on the thoroughness and you're managing thousands of students in 5 different buildings. Oh, sorry. You're managing a lot of kids, a lot of staff, and just the staff in such a critical part of what we do. Kids' health obviously is so incredibly important, and so I just want to thank you for that, and just keeping this data and managing this data is a big piece of that. Probably the least favorite thing, but it's just an impressive report that you pulled together, and it's sort of, I'm struck at the number of contacts you have with kids throughout the day and the school year, and so I just want to say thank you for the work you do, and obviously those numbers are going down, so some things are working, and that's fantastic, so thank you for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
Amanda,
it.
I also want to thank you for that report. And I just had noticed in reading it earlier that I was wondering if you wanted to elaborate on the dental-related things. Has he made a change there?
Oh, yes. A couple of years ago, we started using Bridging Brighter Smiles because they provide so many more services versus just sealants. So I think it's been great to have them. They come twice a year. They do all the referrals for kids and can get on top of dental care early. So they've been great. It's been great.
Good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Just a curiosity question. What are the self-care stations? What are students grabbing from there?
Sure. So it's mostly Band-Aids. There's also things like a fingernail clipper. There's some gauze, tissues, just like basic things. So if they just need to take care of something themselves, they can. Yeah.
Any other questions for Amanda? Amanda, as always, thank you so much to you and your team for everything that you do.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. We're going to move into item 13, which is building project updates. And we'll start with Charlie.
As you look at this report, you can see, as they mentioned, there's lots of things in progress that can attest to that. Lots of people in the building and lots of movement happening each and every day. Today, for example, I know they're trying to line up our water supply with our chillers and our main input, and that's gone well. It started today at around lunchtime, and the chiller should be back full bore tonight at midnight, and then they're testing the water, and things should be back on tomorrow afternoon. So they didn't find anything they didn't want to find when they were digging as far as connecting things back to the main port. So that was good news we got at the end of last week. But as we look at the images here together, the overhead doors are in our tech ed areas there, as you see, and some of the acoustical panels on the top of the music area to the right as we go through the images. New lower level door openings, as you kind of see. This is near our English stairwell, as we call it, that enters our science rooms there, as well as our business and world language hallway to the right. And if you haven't been by Wilson Street in a while, that was tore up about a week and a half ago. So they're waiting for the water supply to be sound and connected before they pour the rest of it. So they did just a little bit of concrete work, and they were digging and laying everything they needed today. So we're hoping in the next couple of days it'll look much different than you see right here, if all goes well with testing tomorrow. The elevator is certainly in, as I was peeking in there a couple of days ago, so that is coming to fruition as that's getting closer and closer. The North Gym bathrooms are coming into place, even more so than that picture there. This is along outside our tech ed hallways, kind of leading into near the field house in the stadium there, as they put in new firewalls that they need for that hallway, and also the band storage areas. And then finally, you can see the progress that continues with the drywall within our world language and business areas. Looks fresh and new, and it's coming along quickly.
So excited to see this
Yeah.
when it gets done.
Nope, lots of people in the building, so lots of progress being made.
Thank you. Middle school. Ben.
Yeah. So over the middle school, similar thing, a lot of extra summer help on the job site, so things are moving along at a really nice pace right now. This first picture here is the second half of the playground. The first half last summer was that beautiful turf that we have, and now we have, you can see on the right of this picture, it's kind of small, but there's a playground with some climbing equipment and stuff like that, and then those two courts right in the center of the picture are going to be basketball courts. So they got to drill the holes and put the hoops in yet. Then there's a 3-lane track going around all of that on the blacktop. In the bottom right, you can see we've got 3 4-square courts mapped out, and then we have an adaptive swing for our ID program all on the playground there. So our playground's about to double or even triple in size in the next couple of days, and our summer school students will be able to test it out for us before we get going. Similarly, in the next day or two, our main parking lot is going to be done and complete. The paving was completed on Friday. They were striping today, so just touching up some stuff, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to open that back up for our summer school staff to park in there. We almost doubled from what we were using this past school year in terms of our main parking, and so that'll be nice during the school day, but it'll be especially nice when we have things like our open house or music concerts or sporting events and whatnot. Should have a whole bunch more parking. So almost at that point there. So you can see this is a shot of what is going to be tech ed and art along what is the west side of the building there. And there's a little bit larger opening because both tech ed and art are going to have some outdoor spaces, like classroom spaces, where they could go outside when the weather's nice and do some projects out there as well. And I was hobbling all around in there today, and they're making really great progress getting a lot of the walls up for art and tech ed as well. They're done with the demo, and they're almost done with the build back with the HVAC and the plumbing and everything, and filling back in the concrete and the floors. There's a picture of that's a few days ago of filling in the plumbing and all the new section there, and then putting the concrete back in, like I was just saying. So there's the concrete. So again, that is you're looking at the new art and tech ed areas, but again, it's further along than even where these pictures are. Again, the interior stud framing out those rooms again. So this is some site work that's going on the south side where the bus lane, the bus drop-off is. Completely redoing the sidewalk, landscaping, and the road as well. Like everything out there is getting redone. So it'll be nice and great for all of our students that take the bus. This is inside the choir room. They're working on the ceiling grid in there. Actually, that's actually the orchestra room. It says choir, but I can tell from the picture that's actually the orchestra room, but the choir room looks similar. It's just about twice as big as the orchestra room. And they've got these really cool ceiling tiles that come down, and they're slanted at all sorts of special angles that I think will make me sound better when I go sing with choir. So, and I think that's all the pictures we have. So still on track at this point in time to have our spaces done by right around the start of the school year, give or take a little bit. And then the Boys and Girls Club space shortly after that. That'll be the last space that gets finished and completed.
Excellent. Great update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I drove by last week one day. Looks really nice from the outside.
It looks nice from the inside, too.
I'm sure we'll get it. Go ahead.
Okay. Is the plan for the, you had mentioned the bus lane drop-offs are almost complete. Will that be just bus lanes from now on, or will, like, all grades be dropped off at the parent drop-off, or what's that gonna look like?
So it'll be the same as it was this past year in that all parent drop-off and pickup will go on the north side of the building with that drive-through lane off the back where the playground is. And all of the bus traffic will be on the south side of the building off of Quincy Street.
Good stuff. Okay. Any other questions for Charlie or Ben? Great, thank you both. We'll move on to item 14, which is the 2025-26 induction handbook, and presenting that will be Fane.
Thank you. So the induction handbook that you're viewing is a big overview of the support we provide new certified staff members, and those are new certified staff members who are new to the profession or new to the district. The main substantial change that I wanted to highlight today is on page 4, where we've decided to pause our hiring of a literacy coach for next school year. We are not deleting the position. We hired somebody last summer, and they started with us, and then they resigned early in the year. We reposted for a while, but we could not find somebody who we were ready to move forward with, and so we decided to pause for the year because we had the ELA pilots going and things like that. And now that we're looking at next year, the way that we're pivoting is that we're creating site-based implementation coaches who are going to be lead teachers in each grade level in each elementary school to support the rollout of the new ELA curriculum. So they're going to be our go-to across the district, and then be those point people in each of our elementary buildings too. And it's just like a slightly different way to think of a coaching framework that we're going to lean into an opportunity for next year and then assess how it went and move forward appropriately. So then the other change is the support seminars, orientation dates and things like that that are required for new certified staff members through the year. Those are on pages 17 and 18. And so for the induction handbook, this is the first of 2 readings, and I can take any questions that you might have.
So this sort of walks a new teacher through their support, really. It's talking about what support they're gonna get to be successful, right? How are we gonna coach them up and
Yep.
and give them what they need in that first year, which is pretty amazing and fantastic that we have a plan that's this detailed. It seems like a lot, but I think brand new teacher to us or out of school needs this. So it's impressive that you've created this kind of level of support for them.
And it's a robust program, and we use the induction handbook We always send that to our new certified staff members in the summer before they start, so that they understand the overview of all of it. And we also share it with our mentors who are being newly trained, and then mentors who are assigned to staff members as well. So it's kind of like a great communication tool for like the philosophy of the program, our philosophy of how we support new certified staff members, because it's absolutely essential to teacher retention.
Yeah, that's what I was going to comment on.
Yeah.
Very important for retention.
It is.
That's great.
Fame, I think Anne kind of touched on it with her comment, but this is for new teachers and new to us teachers,
Yes.
both, correct?
Yep, yep. So we every year have a pool of teachers, and it's always this fantastic, eclectic array of experience. You have your teachers who are within, it's their very first position. They've never held a position before, and then we get people who have had 15, 20, 25 years of experience, and they all are joining our district at the very same time, and so we like to lean into that as like a networking and support, and that's always I think that's one of my favorite things about the job, is supporting new certified staff members. So yeah.
Okay. Team, any other questions for Fame on this topic? Great. Thank you. We'll move into action items now, and we have a grant from the NEA Foundation that Ben's going to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to publicly thank the NEA Foundation for, as you can see there, their donation for professional development for a program at Irving Perch. And I think it'd be great if Abby could share some comments related to that.
Sure. So this is a grant awarded to Anne Marie Dahl, who is our LMC director. She applied for it in February, essentially covers all costs for her to attend the American Association of School Librarians Conference in October. So travel, lodging, and then that conference fee for 3 days. So she's really looking forward to it. She's looking forward to what she's going to bring back, and we are too. So congratulations to Anne Marie.
That's great. And this amount is essentially a donation from the NEA Foundation, so it does require board approval given the amount of the.
I'll make a motion to approve the grant for $3,185 from the NEA Foundation for Professional Development for Irving Perch Elementary, LMC Director Anne Marie Dahl.
Second.
Motion by Tracy, seconded by Ann, to approve the $3,185 grant from the NEA Foundation for Professional Development for our Perch LMC Director, Anne Marie Dahl. Team, is there any questions?
Abby, she'll be able to share her experience with other LMC directors?
Yes, absolutely, and I think that's what she's looking forward to most. She's a great leader within our building, but then also with the LMC directors across the district, so.
Great.
she's really looking forward to it.
She's just superb. Did she find it on her own then?
She did, she called it a long shot, so she's just really excited about it.
It's awesome, her initiative there. Thank you.
Will she come and share with the board?
We can certainly have her do that, I know she'd be excited.
That'd be
That'd be
fun.
great.
Yep, that's a good idea.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is approved. Thank you, Abby. Next, we have a notification of academic standards for the 2025-26 school year, which is required for review by state statutes, and we'll turn it over to Fame.
You got us started pretty well there. So each year, we provide notification to district parents of all of the adoption of the Wisconsin academic standards in the areas of ELA, in math and science, social studies, social emotional learning, and English language development standards. I apologize, I was looking at the enclosure. So we adopt the Common Core Wisconsin academic standards for each of the subject areas. We also adopt the essential elements for each of those subject areas, ELA, math, science, and social studies. And those essential elements are for students that guide our learning of students with significant cognitive disabilities. This is less than 1% of our population. Still very important to acknowledge those standards. On my enclosure, those are not linked properly. In the standards link in the agenda, you can get to them, but I'll make sure that that link is fixed, and so it's taking you to the right place. I apologize about that. But we also include this annual notice once approved in our district annual notices that we send out and prepare and update each year so that we are in compliance with statute.
Team, are there any questions for FAME on this? This does require board approval.
I would move that we approve and provide annual notification to district parents of the adoption of the Wisconsin academic standards in the areas of ELA, English Language Arts, Reading and Writing, Mathematics and Social Studies, Geography and History, and the Next Generation Science Standards for Science for the 25-26 school year as found in that enclosure and link. And
Second.
required.
Motion by Ann, seconded by Brian to approve the notification of the academic standards for the 2025-26 school year as presented by FAME and detailed in the motion presented from Ann. Team, are there any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you for that. And now we'll move into a presentation of student fees for the year, and that can be found in enclosure 17. I think we're going to start with the high school is the top of the list there,
Yep,
Charlie?
I'll get it started. I'll just draw your attention to a few changes that we have in just a few. The first one is for our select PE courses, a $10 fee. You know, one of our main goals, as you see with senior PE, adventure, and outdoor fitness and fitness for life, is to expose students to things just not happening inside of our school, but the opportunities that exist outside of our school building, to give them exposure, to introduce them how to get involved, how to try yoga, or how to get to rock climbing or bowling or whatever activities that exist when they're done with us at OHS. So transportation costs are really eating up our PE budget more so than they ever have. So this helps us maintain the things we need for PE, but also the exposure that we want for these classes, as we've outlined there. The other change, yearbook price just went up $2. It's just the cost of what yearbooks are. And a couple of additions to our activity fees that are newer to us with Winter Guard and Winter Drumline to help cover some of those costs appropriately.
Okay. Middle school.
So we have optional fees. So our yearbook price has stayed the same, as well as the Chromebook insurance. We as a school cover the cost of an assignment notebook or planner for students. And we also do cover how to use it every year, believe it or not. As far as co-curricular fees, we still have just the one for show choir. So otherwise, no big changes.
We're going in elementary, Lish.
Yeah, you might recall that over the last 5 years, we've done a lot of work at the elementary level to reduce fees and costs for families. And when we looked across it and saw that for the last 3 years, we had 0, 0, 0, we just took them off because we're not charging them anymore. The only thing that we wanted to include for elementary families is that some of our field trips might incur a variable cost that we determine at the time that we schedule the field trip. So difficult for us to put the specific number on it for you tonight, but that we communicate to families at the time that we schedule it, and we still use all means to be able to reduce that cost defray for all families. But we also will either reduce or waive for families that are receiving free or reduced lunch, and always offer scholarship for those who may not qualify for free and reduced lunch but still might have a hardship. So wanted to just include that to make sure that we're being transparent.
Great, thank you. And then I noticed there's a district-wide item there. Who's covering that? Thanks, Fame.
So our parent contract for transportation, we adopted a policy, I don't remember how many years, it was quite a few years, maybe 5 years ago, that allowed for us to be able to, at the same point, offer transportation to those who are within, they don't fit the general definition of who we would transport, but because of attendance issues, it's the barrier, and why wouldn't we pick them up if we're able to add them to routes? So what we usually do with these transportation costs is we enter into an agreement with the parents, and then we usually turn around and we will waive the fee so that they will not have to pay. This is also comes into play if for some reason a family did want transportation, attendance was not an issue, but this is offering them that service at an approved fee.
Team, are there any questions for any of the service fees or student fees that were presented from any of the building levels?
Can you just clarify the parent contract transportation? So is that just like people whose children are already attending school here and they're just like volunteering / getting paid to like pick up extra kids, or how is that working? I guess I apologize, I'm confused.
So, a scenario would be, let's say we have a student who consistently struggles to get to school because their main mode of transportation in the winter is a bicycle. And they're, what's our transportation? 2 miles. So they're within that 2-mile radius, and so we wouldn't have them on a route because we don't pick up students who are within those 2 miles. And we know that if we were able to send out a van and pick this student up, that they would make it to school even though it's bitterly cold and their only mode of transportation is a bicycle because their parents work early in the morning. So that would be a scenario where we would offer this contract to the parents, and then they would be agreeing to the payment. We would turn around and waive the fee because we want the student to be here, and we recognize that transportation is a barrier that's preventing the student from attending.
So who's actually providing the transportation?
We do.
Oh, like
So not the parents.
like the district van or whatever?
Correct, yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
we
what I was
have-
just trying to clarify. I was kind of confused with the
I
name of
apologize
it.
if I didn't answer.
No,
or if
you're
I
good, you're
answered that
good.
in a very indirect way. But we have van routes where we have students picked up for a variety of reasons on different routes than buses. And usually we can, I would say almost always we can find a way to pick any student up who needs to be picked up.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Welcome.
Charlie, the school fees present a barrier to participation. What is our process, and I guess does it differ between the school fees category and athletic and music, if that's just a straight barrier for a family?
No, it wouldn't be. And just as Lish had mentioned with her field trip piece, you know, in terms of it being affordable for all students, if they're free or reduced, they would, you know, be waived or at a fraction of the cost. So we would never allow that to be a barrier for participation or any other means. Yep.
Team, any other
Move
questions?
That we approve the student fees presented in enclosure 17 and elaborated upon by our administrators.
Second.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Brian, to approve the student fees for the 2025-26 school year as presented in enclosure 17, student fees. Are there any questions?
I have one question.
Please.
I'm just curious on that parent contract transportation. If we're typically waiving it, what's the intention behind raising it $10 and some change?
It aligns with bus costs. So
Okay.
every year bus costs, I think,
Yeah,
go up.
yep.
And then, so we just want to make sure that we're in line with that. Because even though we're waiving it, for some scenarios, a parent could say, I want this service and I want to pay that $230 in order for my child to be picked up. And if we can add them to a route and they're entering into the contract and paying, we would do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Team, any other questions? It's a good question, by the way. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is passed. Thank you. We now have action item 18, which is project search. And Lori, I think you can take it.
Yes. So just a little bit of background about Project Search. Project Search is actually a national, it's a 1-year transition to work program for students who have disabilities that have completed their 4 years of high school, but they are not ready yet for the workforce. And so I was trying to think how many years that Holman has had this, and I want to say it's probably like 9 or 10 years.
I think it's 8 because I was part of
Okay.
starting it.
Okay, I was close. So Holman, the way that Project Search works is a school district partners with a business. And Holman, in this sense, in this case, has partnered with Gunderson Amplify for 8 years now. The entire program happens in the workplace. And students who qualify for the program, there's a teacher that's there, and the teacher is an employee of Holman. And they're there, they have a classroom, and the students are interns, and they work and learn the skills in a variety of different departments within Gunderson. And the hope for Gunderson is they can train the students and hire them as employees when they're done with their 1 year of Project Search. For the students, of course, it's to get a job at Gunderson when they're done. So they try out a variety of different locations, departments, see which ones align with what they're interested in, what they're good at. And where we come into this is that there is a capacity of the program. And some years, which I believe last year, Holman had enough students to fill the program. So they didn't offer it outside of their district. We have had students in the past participate in Project Search. We just didn't last year. And this year, for this coming year, we have 2 students who, because there was capacity within the program, they opened it up to other neighboring school districts if there were students who were interested to apply for it. But Holman retains they're the fiscal agent of it. And so in order for us to have our students participate in it, we enter into this agreement, this 6603 agreement with Holman. So basically, we pay a portion for our 2 students to participate in what the cost of the program is.
Okay.
So that's what the agreement is.
Do these students typically, are they also part of like the On Ability program?
It's
or
a different.
how is that?
Yeah, that's a great question. On Ability is a 18 to 21-year-old transition program. So is Project Search.
Okay.
It targets different students.
Okay.
Sometimes we have students go to go to On Ability, and then they go to Project Search for that year. And then it just has taken maybe them a little longer to learn some of those job skill requirements before they would be accepted into Project Search.
They don't typically do it concurrently, though?
No. It's a full-time, they do follow, I think, Holman School District's calendar, not our calendar. We do provide transportation for our students, and like I said, it's all down at Gunderson. So if you ever want to take a tour, there I could connect you with. It's really pretty cool. It's really a cool program.
That's awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice team. Are there any questions for Lori?
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement for 66.03, agreement with the School District of Holman for Project Search for the 2025-2026 school year, as outlined by Lori and detailed in enclosure 18, Project Search.
Second.
Motion by Tracy, seconded by Ann to approve the district to enter into a 6603 agreement with the School District of Holman for Project Search for the 2025-26 school year, as outlined by Lori and detailed in enclosure 18, Project Search. Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's passed. Lori, thank you for your work on that. And for starting that, Lish. Or being involved in
It was
starting.
not just me.
I understand, yeah.
It's a small part, but it is a really cool program. I would definitely suggest taking a tour if you have the opportunity.
It looks like Lori will stick with you to talk about physical therapist services.
And I bring this agreement for approval for the board every year. This has been a good partnership, again, with Holman, and it's again under that 6603 agreement. Neither one of us needs a full-time physical therapist, and so a number of years ago, we entered into an agreement to share a position. Holman needs more. They have more students that have physical therapy needs than we do. They are the fiscal agent, and then basically we buy time from them. And that's what this agreement that I'm asking for approval for is about, again. It's worked well. You might notice in the enclosure, there is some summer evaluation time calculated in there also. We had a couple students that we had to evaluate this summer that needed a physical therapist on the evaluation team, and so that's built into this contract for this year, because it's after July 1st, so that's where that additional cost is from.
And we
Sometimes
wouldn't
that
have known
happens.
last year at this time that we were going to need that after July this year, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right, right, yes. Yep.
Lori, does this, any of the expense of this fall under services like Badger Care, or do we get reimbursed for any other
Yes,
way? Yeah.
Yes, Medicaid reimbursement for school-based services, anytime, yes. Any therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, nursing services, physical therapy. So she bills for our students, for us, and Holman students for Holman. So yes, we get a portion of that back through reimbursement through Medicaid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I will make a motion to enter into a 6603 agreement with the School District of Holman for physical therapy services for the 25-26 school year as outlined in enclosure 19.
Second.
Motion by Bridget, second by Tracy to approve the district entering into a 6603 agreement with the School District of Holman for physical therapy services for the 2025-26 school year as outlined by Lori and detailed in enclosure 19 PT. Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Once again, Lori, thank you for your work on that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll move into board policies. These are on for second reading. I'll ask Mark, Tracy, or Eric if there are any changes or further commentary that's been had since our first reading 2 weeks back.
Yeah, I don't believe so. I haven't heard any questions from anybody or any discussion. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff there. We've gone through it multiple times, and I read through them all again today.
Okay.
So I think they're ready to go.
Yeah, I think we're ready to present them as they were presented last time.
Great. Then these are on for board approval.
Well, I'll make the motion to approve those board policies. Enclosure 20.
Do we have a
Second
second?
that.
Thank you, Tracy. Motion by Mark, seconded by Tracy to approve the board policies presented in enclosure 20 board policies. Are there any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? As I know how much work policy is. I appreciate the work that goes into it. Thank you for that. Personnel report. Are there any requests to remove items for separate consideration from the personnel report? Hearing none, turn it over to you, Sonia.
Thank you. We have two resignation requests. The first one is our Director of Instructional Services, FAME, and I'll let Ben share a little bit about
I think it's important that we acknowledge that this is FAME's last meeting with us at the board table. And FAME's been with us now for 6 years, I believe. And, you know, it's no secret there's a tradition of excellence in academics and instruction and curriculum in the school district of Onalaska, and that's not by accident, right? And FAME has been the leader of instruction here for 6 years and done extraordinary work. I'm sad as a superintendent, I'm not gonna have the opportunity to work with you, but I'm happy for you too. I mean, it sounds like you're on the next chapter of your life, and you're gonna continue to do great things, and we know that you're not gonna be far away, and you know, I think once you're a hilltopper, you're always a hilltopper, right? And you're still gonna have a lot of purple, hopefully in your wardrobe, and you'll wear that proud. Or maybe she doesn't, I don't know. I'm gonna assume so. If not, I'm gonna buy you one. But, you know, I think just as we referenced the doctor helping lead us through the pandemic, I mean, FAME was the director of instruction during the pandemic, and you all know how quickly we needed to respond during that time and basically change everything we did in the areas of teaching and learning in a matter of a week or even less than that. And I can only imagine the long days and evenings that you spent helping work through that time. So on behalf of myself as the new superintendent, thank you for your service, and we wish you well.
And Fame, on behalf of the board, I know we had a chance to chat a little bit earlier, but with just much appreciation for everything you brought to this room, and more importantly to our certified staff, and ultimately to the students in that 6-year time frame. So it'll be an interesting meeting in 2 weeks without you sitting there at the table with us, but wish you well.
I'll keep it on my calendar, so I'll be thinking about it.
You'll have to register for public input if you want to come back, though.
No, but really, it has been an absolute, like, the biggest professional honor that I can, that I'll probably ever experience working with this team. I'm stepping away, but I'm doing it with, like, nothing but gratitude and respect for everything that we've done. I think we've done a lot of great things. I wasn't gonna cry, like, I didn't feel that, but it's been a tremendous pleasure, so thank you.
Thank you.
We do have one other resignation. Oddly enough, Megan Sprague started under Fame during COVID too. So we thank her for her 5 years of service with the district. We have 2 teachers coming on board. Heather Bartles will be our 5th grade teacher at Eagle Bluff, and then Brooke Evenson, our school counselor, also at Eagle Bluff. And then 2 custodians, Madison and Suzette, are joining us starting actually this last week. And then Title I services, we have funding, federal funding that helps support the parochial schools. They're paid through us. Betty is going to help support that through the summer at St. Paul's. And then this is the time of year we start to look at our paraprofessional roles and what are the needs in the building. So you'll see 4 deletions and then a few creations, just in terms of where they need to fall within the school buildings in our district. There's an additional enclosure for a few summer school changes. And then the start of our co-curricular contracts for the fall, as well as school year advisors. And then Emma Siebeck is our 4th grade teacher. She's going to transfer into kindergarten, so we have that position posted. And then a few resignation notifications for the board.
Thank you. Team, any questions for Sonia?
I would move for approval of the personnel report as presented by Sonia.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Brian to approve the personnel report as presented. Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Are there any requests to remove items from the consent agenda for separate consideration?
Seeing none, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion from Brian, seconded by Mark, to approve the consent agenda as presented. Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. We have no further business.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion from Brian, seconded by Tracy to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.